I look so weird wearing these. That's so weird. I look funny.
Kitzu.
Hi Fluffy Fluffs, my name is Kitzu. Today I'll be showing another tutorial. It's probably too late for Valentine's by the time this is uploaded, so happy late Valentine's. Also, a shout out to my fox friend Starlight. You can download her Valentine's assets and more on her page. I'll leave a link below. She's a very talented VTuber artist, and I hope to be just as talented one day. I'll be using her free assets for this tutorial. Alright, let's hop to it. Okay, so I just opened up my my model right here. So I'm gonna go to hairstyles, and I'm gonna choose the ahage. I think that's what it's called. Is that how you say it? Ahage? 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 I cannot really pronounce this. So as you can see, I already made it, but the ears get in the way. So the ears are something I'm gonna take out. So I'm gonna go back here. I'm gonna go click the one without the ears. There we go. Alright, so I took the ears off. You probably don't have ears. Maybe you do. I don't know, but I mean, you can try with the ears if you like. But I just see that these things actually pop out more with without the ears. So we're gonna add a new item. Start editing without saving, and I'm gonna save anything here. And then you get this spiderweb thingy. So now you go up here to edit hairstyle. And yeah, I don't want to save again. All right, here we go. Then you click this freehand group right here, and yep, you get like a little, you get the little spider web right there on top. So now I'm gonna have to add a string of hair. All right, so now I'm gonna have to add a string of hair by using the brush tool. I'm gonna zoom in. All right, and I'm gonna put. So for this, you have to make sure the hair tip is actually at the top, not the bottom. So that we're gonna use a brush and start the stroke from the bottom, and then yep, the tip has to be up. But in order to get the other side as well, I'm gonna mirror it. So you touch this button up here to and trigger the mirror, and then you get 2 hair strings. Right, and the next step is to go all the way down here on the side, and then we're gonna selection tool. Select the hair, and then we're gonna go down here, and we're gonna put, yeah, here we go, cross selection. So from diamond, change it to flat, and the curve from fluffy, change it to straight. And then all this right here, these lines, bring them all the way at the top to make the hair a square shape. And repeat the same thing for the other hair string as well. Flat, straight. Make sure all these lines are at the top to make it a square. Alright, so now we got our hairs right there. Looks kind of funny. And then you're gonna go back to the top. The computer's slowing down a bit. Alright, we're gonna go to the top, and then you're gonna press the plus icon on the top. Go down. You got a new material. So you touch this new material, touch it, and then we're gonna go click the arrow right here, and then go to edit texture. And then you'll be given a brown texture right here. So we're gonna have to like export this out. So you gotta go here and click export. And what that's gonna do, you can already see I got my assets down already. So and I already got my hair right here in my VRoid as well. So you can actually go let's see, where do I have the hair? Yeah, you can see I have my hair right here, so I already have that. But this is to give you an idea. I already exported. You click save, but first name the file something you want, like hair. And then we're gonna open the the artist drawing program that you use. So open up any artist program you use and open up that file inside that art program. And then you have this right here. And then next, you're gonna have to search for the files that you downloaded from Starlight Ko-Fi or Ko-Fi website. Still have a hard time saying that. Alright, so I'm going to import an image, and then I'm gonna choose red glasses since I'm already on the page. I'm also going to import another thing. So we're going to use two assets from Starlight's Ko-Fi page. Where's the import? Here we go. We're going to use the headbands as well. Here we go. And then you have to like set it to an appropriate size. So we're going to have to scale it down. Right there. And, oh, wrong one. Alright, so then I hold the shift button to make sure it's actually moving straight in a straight line. And then because it works a little odd, you cannot really do any edits or rotation in VRoid. So you have to do everything from the drawing program that you're using. So I'm going to rotate this to like 180 degree. So I'm going to rotate it upside down. And then I'm going to turn off the layer from the bottom, make sure it's transparent, make sure this is not hitting the edges, so go make it a little smaller. There we go. And now you click and save it. And you gotta save it as a PNG. So make sure it says PNG at the bottom, and you can see I already saved a couple of them at the bottom right here. So you can see I already have this one headband upside down, and then we also got the glasses on the sides as well. So for the glasses, it's pretty much the same thing for me. I'm not sure if your whatever program you're using will work a little differently, but yeah, you're gonna have to like mess with this program a little bit and see where is the perfect spot to place this item, to place the 2D assets to make it work with your VRoid character. Now that you edited your assets on the drawing program, the digital art program, you actually had to press click plus, and then you'll see another layer. Right click it and import. And then we're going to import the upside down headband that you just made. You can see it's upside down, but we still got the brown colors behind right at the bottom. So we're gonna have to turn that off. There we go. And you can see it actually works fixed perfectly well. So that means we're gonna have to go back, and then we're gonna have to click this one and do the same steps that we just did. So we're gonna have to go down and select this material. Well, pretty much it's not the same steps. So you just click the new material you made, which is the brown one at the bottom. And then, because this is a little bit weird, we're gonna have to like do some edits on the spider web around here. And you can see all these dots, we're gonna actually have to move them around. So you have to move them at the bottom, and you can see that is actually stretching. So the headbands are actually stretching. So we're gonna have to like do a couple of edits, and just mess with the program as much as you can and see what works and what doesn't work. So it's gonna take some experimenting when you're trying stuff out like this. And as you can see, this is actually working pretty well. It's almost exactly how I want. But another thing you can do is click control points. We're gonna click this one right here, and you can see there's control points. There's these dots. These are the control points. So you gotta make sure this is stretched all the way up. This is stretched all the way down. And we're gonna make sure, this is also stretched, the spider web. That's why I'm calling it a web. Spider web. Thank you, Spider-Man, for making this web. Who would have thought Spider-Man was actually very helpful? Alright, so we're gonna do it this way, like that. There we go. And then we're gonna have to see where the other ones are at. So you can see there's only 2 points. So we're gonna have to like, if I actually move this down, what will happen if I move this down? It's not going to affect the, okay, so it's not going to affect the image that much. So I can actually move this down and then drag it out a little bit. And I can see there's another point right here. And I can like drag it up. But it seems that there's something else stopping it. Maybe it's this one in here. Yep, I stood correctly, it's this one. So now I just move it down like this. Make sure it's all working perfectly well. Stretch this out. And just keep an eye on this one right here. So once you see that this is actually looking perfectly well on your avatar, that'll work. Gotta make sure it's actually on the spot where you want it to be. So I want this to be seen a little bit. And I want this to actually be stretched more. So we need to make it go up a little bit higher. There we go. And I also want to stretch it out a bit. There you go, that's looking pretty neat right now. So now the only thing that's left is to make sure it's evenly parallel, I think that's how you say it. It's evenly parallel with the hair. So we're gonna have to like move it back a little bit. That looks like it's perfect. Gonna have to move it down a little bit. So let's see. So this is not doing anything. What's gonna do something is the bottom one, which is gonna cause it to stretch. There we go. Move this back a little bit, and voila, there we go. That's what I wanted to see. And then you got this right here. So now we're gonna have to move control points and just do some quick edits to it. You can have multiple points to make different edits. I can see something's wrong here. Yep. So that was actually going the right behind it. So now I found out what was going on here. Okay, so this is something that I don't want happening. So I need to make sure the spider web is actually even. So I need to bring this up the center. So I'm bringing the center up, and then I'm gonna bring these other ones up as well. There we go. There we go. Now I just want this to be up a little bit more. This will actually stretch it. So this works. And I don't know why it keeps disappearing, but that's something you're gonna have to deal with a bit. Alright, that's as high as it goes, it seems. I cannot move it anymore. That's weird. Alright, so sometimes it will not behave, so I need to try to work by rotating it around and see if that actually works. Because sometimes it will not move when you're looking at a straight angle, or I think you can call it straight. I'm not sure what it's called, but it's like a complete, a perfect X view, you can call it. So that's when sometimes it might not work because you're selecting the bottom, the one behind it, and that's what the program seems to be thinking. And it's pretty much telling you oh, you're choosing the one behind, so I'm not gonna let you choose that one. That's pretty much what's happening. You need to select the one that's straight. Alright, so now that we got this will make it a bit much more simpler. There we go. Make sure this is straight as you possibly can. So these right here are not gonna affect it that much. This is just gonna give it a little bit of a curve. So that's something we want to try, giving it a little bit of a curve. And you might not get the full asset picture of the part you want, so that's something you're gonna have to deal with a little bit, unless you wanna do more edits and completely shrink it down, because it's gonna take a lot of trial and error to do this. But this is what I actually like so far, and this is what I enjoyed. So we're gonna work with that. I'm gonna have to deal with it. There we go. Now we got it. Now we go to the other one, and it disappeared. Where did it go? It just disappeared. Oh, it's still there. Okay, so we can see this one is actually facing the other way. So we're gonna have to go back to selection, and this can be fixed by going let's turn off the materials and go all the way down. No, you don't go all the way down. You go up here, texture parameters. So you're gonna have to mess with these right here and see what does what. So the width will stretch out the image. This will move it up and down. I'll go back. So press Ctrl C to undo everything you just did. So every time you try something out, I would suggest you press Ctrl C to go back. If you wanna redo something instead of undo it, you can press Ctrl Shift C. Alright, we can see offset actually works. So we're gonna have to make sure it's as close to it as possible here. There we go. So now we got that. We're gonna turn off mirror because sometimes the mirror does not sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but because the hair is different on both sides for me, I need to turn off the mirror. So the mirror was just a good start to get this started, pretty much. Don't know what I'm saying. I need to learn how to speak better. There we go. Oh, should probably leave it like that. And because that's like invisible, that's not gonna look good. So I'm gonna have to move it down a little bit and just make it look a little bit more believable. There we go. Move it down a little bit. And it'll be the same thing with this one. We're gonna move it down a little bit so you don't notice that invisible area. Move it a little bit forward. Make sure you don't see that part. And then the headband part needs to come out a little bit. All right, there we go. All right, and voila, there you go. So if you wanna make the whole complete headband, I would suggest you add like a hair string in the middle. So I'm gonna show you how to do that as well. So you can actually do a hair string in the middle, and you can see it's actually already putting in the one that I got. So you can see it's invisible. So we're gonna have to go back here. We're gonna have to add a new material as well for this one because it's going to be a different image. So go back to material, click this, edit shader. All right, and we're gonna turn this off, add another layer, and then import. And I already have one already done for me right here. So you're gonna have to do a sideways headband. So just how you see it here. So I will suggest doing it this way. All right, and now that it's done, go back, and then we can see that it's right there. Where is it at? Let's turn these off for now. So we can just focus on the middle piece of the headband. Okay, there we go. I forgot to click the material. All right, so you click the material here, since we add a new material. And then since it's the opposite way, we're gonna have to like rotate it around. So you have to move every single piece around. That's the only way you can actually rotate things. Or you can just delete it and do another brush and make sure this one is short. Like make it just small. We're gonna go here and then we're gonna click the material. Okay, be on the selection tool and click material. All right, now you can see it's right there. Gonna go back to selection and do some edits. You can see it's doing that. It looks really weird. That's because the cross selection was not set to flat and the curve, it was not set to straight. And these lines need to be straight all the way up. Make sure you got like a straight hair string. And then just move this down, and there you go. Alright, and the only way you can stretch this is by just moving this to the sides. Just like that. And if you want to add more control points, you can choose the retouch brush. And then just click and drag a little bit, and you'll be adding a few more control points. And you can start adding some curves to it as well. You can see it's upside down, so we're gonna have to like rotate it. So since we only got 4 control points, this is going to be pretty easy to do, to just flip it around. Then just leave it like that. And then just stretch it down a little bit. And there you go. So yeah, if you wanna have it pop up a little bit up there, you gotta make sure you're gonna have to like make sure these hairs are also connected. And you can see it's almost connected. This one actually fit pretty well. So now I just need to move this one around, and there you go. It looks more better. And then we can actually add the glasses by adding a fresh hair guides. You have like another group of hairs right here. Turn this one off, and then we're gonna have to use the hair string. We already got our spider web right there. We gotta thank the almighty Spider-Man for this spider web. Alright, so we're gonna have to do this right here. Add a piece of hair. Again, plus button, new material. Go down here. Shade color, no shade color, edit texture. And then add a new layer, turn it off, and gonna import the glasses in there. Make sure your glasses are located just like this when you're editing on your digital art program. Right, there we go. And then we gotta go X. This is not, the image has not been imported into this hair string just yet. That's because we're gonna have to like add the material into it by clicking. And then of course go down, diamond to flat, fluffy to straight, all lines at the bottom, put them up. Oh, I added one by mistake. Make sure they're all up. There we go. And now we actually just stretch it out a bit. I would suggest you have 4 control points for the glasses, since you can actually like move them around and make a little bit of a curve around your eyes. Make sure it's like completely stretched. If it doesn't fit, you can just go around and stretch it a little bit more. Stretch it a little bit more. Or another thing you can do is to also just stretch out the spider web a little bit more. By clicking these dots right here, turn on mirror mode, click these dots and then stretch it out a little bit. Then move this down a bit, or you can move the bottom one to stretch it down. There we go, the glasses are almost there. But there was one thing missing here, so you're gonna have to choose offset. There we go, the glasses are in. But then the glasses are too big, so I can actually change the width to make them appropriate size. There we go. So now I got my glasses on and they actually fit pretty well. And there you go. There you go. Okay, I can actually just move them a little bit more. So let's go back and then you're gonna have to like move this back a little bit. Then make sure they're all there we go. And there we go. Alright, and that's pretty much it. So now we can go get out of here and then just save as new item. And now the next step to do is to edit hair bounce. Start with our editing. Alright, so start hair bounce right here. We're gonna add some bones to this hair strings right here. So we're gonna add a bone. They're gonna be separate, so we're gonna have to put hair number 1, and that means it's gonna choose that one. Create the bone group. Choose hair number 2, create the bone group. Then choose this one, and you can see these are the bones. And we want the bones to start right here because we only want the top to be moving around. So we're gonna have to move the fixed point all the way up, just like that. Right, so it pretty much seems to be 0.5. So we're gonna click that number and then press 0.5. And then same thing with group 2. You can have a look at right here, 0.5 fixed point. So go back to fixed point and put 0.5. There we go. And now the way to test this would be to go to camera. So we close without saving note, override, save as new item. So yeah, I'm gonna have to override it. Alright, so now in order to test these out, we can go to the camera and make sure they're actually wiggling. The glasses need to be straight, we don't want that to wiggle. We don't want that to move around. So now we go to the wind. And now we turn on the wind. And you can see, it's actually moving. So that's what we want. And that's pretty much about it. All that's left to do is just export your model and try it out on whatever VTuber program you are using. Of course, there's plenty of other ways to use these assets using Blender or some other VTuber programs to make it a little bit more easy, but I hope this gives you an idea of the possibilities you have with VRoid. I look so weird with this. My name is Kitzu and I stream Fridays and Saturdays on Twitch at 8 PM to 10 PM Central Time. My goal for the new year is 1,000 subscribers. Let's see if we can actually reach that by the end of this year. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to poke that like and subscribe button. Share with your friends, feel free to follow me in my other social media, and I'll see you all in my next video. Take care of yourselves, Fluffy Fluffs. See you later. That was weird.